Hello Flight Simmers! Finally it has arrived, the 777 update from PMDG. It has been a very long time, we had to wait for this one, but now it's finally here. And it's not only the update for the pre-existing versions of the 777, but also now we have the 777-200ER, the extended range version, which we are also seeing here in front of us, this time in the beautiful American Airlines colors. And well, what's there to say really? I think this has been certainly the mostly anticipated update or add-on actually for the sim in 2021, also back in 2020 actually, but yeah, it had turned out to be 2021 until we get it, but I'm quite sure that every single minute of waiting time has been worth it for sure. And yeah, saying it straight away, I think this is gonna be one of the most advanced and one of the best add-ons we will find in the Prepare 3D world for some time to come. So I'm very, very excited about finally being able to do a flight in this beautiful aircraft. And I thought we will kick things off with a rather short flight today, going from Chicago down to Miami, flight time of about 2.5 hours. So a nice short route to get to know the aircraft a little bit, and then of course in the coming weeks we will of course take it on some serious long-haul flights, and that will be what this aircraft is actually designed for. But yeah, today we will kick off with the short one, and also before we head into the flight deck, let's do a nice little walk around here and take some time to appreciate the aircraft and see how it looks from the outside. I mean, it looks really stunning, that's for sure. And today on this aircraft we are having the Rolls-Royce engines, which I think they are also new in the PMDG world. I think they have not been available with the previous 777 versions, but here they are. And of course this aircraft comes with a huge range of updates regarding the flight model, the VNAV profile, engine sounds, other sounds as well, I think external modeling. There's a huge list of updates which are all very good, I'm quite sure about that. And well, yeah, let's have a look around. We of course know the 777 back from the previous versions, which were officially featured only for Prepare version 4. And yeah, I think in the end, from the external view, it did not change too much, although I have the impressions the modeling and the textures are a bit better than they have been on the previous one. So looking at this tail, there's of course now also loads of PBR textures here on this aircraft, so that also makes the look a bit better. And yeah, well, look at this, that's quite simply stunning in my opinion. Right, so yeah, today, by the way, flying the November 751 Alpha November. This aircraft is, I think it's 19 years old, and as already mentioned, with the Rolls-Royce engines. And well, now I think very often they are flying these sort of domestic routes between the major hubs in the US, and that's what we are doing today as well. Well, so I think, yeah, GSX Sporting 417 packs I just saw up there. That's of course nonsense once again, but never mind. Payloads should be correct, so I believe we can now jump into the flight deck and start to set up for our flight. So here we are on the flight deck. In here actually not too much has changed apart from the very major update regarding the EFB, the electronic flight bag, which we now have on the 777, and that's of course very useful, especially for doing the takeoff performance calculations, and that's what we will do also in a bit. Other than that, I think the cockpit textures have not changed too much from the previous version. Yeah, still looks pretty much as it has been before, but right, looks good. Okay, let's get into the flight. I have done the D-Link, uplink and the route, but other than that I haven't entered anything yet. So we will do the performance. Let's see, we are in pounds of course today, that's why reserves are 17.1 1,000 pounds. Zero fuel weight 390.6. Maximum would be 442, so yeah, still a bit of headroom. And cost index 85, cruise level 390, that's fine for me. I think we do the step size to 0. We don't really need that. And right, then departure. Of course, no sits in Chicago. And we will be going out of 22 left today. And we can see it here on the navigation display. We simply fly out runway heading, and whenever we feel ready for it, we can do the left-hand turn onto the first waypoint, which will be Dent, and that's 33 nautical miles away. And right, let's go to the next page and load in the wind data. And regarding the arrival, we will do that during the cruise when we get a bit closer to Miami. And what else? Performance, of course. So let's switch over to the EFB. We can initialize the flight. Performance conditions are dry. Let's see what the winds are doing. But in general, weather here in Chicago is super nice, and I think also down in Miami it's rather good today. So that should be fine. Wind, let's see, we have 270 at 8. Like this, it's quite cold, -2. Thrust rating, I think takeoff 2 will do today. Let's go optimum, aircon, PEX auto, anti-ice, engine and wing auto, I think it is always here on the 777. Right, calculate. And here we are. So that's a D-rate 2, flap 5, and selected temperature of 46. So D-rate 2, 46, going in here, take off, flap 5, center of gravity, and then we have speeds of 138, 40, and 44. And 138 for V1, like that. Okay, cool. Transition, of course, being 18,000 in the US, and thus I think the FMC setup is already completed. And yeah, we will basically wait now for GSX to finish the boarding. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and fire up the APU already. So boarding is now finally completed, and we will be back in the flight deck in just a second. Just quickly wanted to show you guys the gear. Actually, well, let's have a nice look at the engine since we are here already. But yeah, I especially just wanted to point out the gears since they have put a lot of work into this one. And yeah, just looking at this beautiful modeling and texturing, and they say also the dynamics of those gears are so incredibly close to the real world. Should be rather amazing. Unfortunately, yeah, we don't really get to see it when we fly the aircraft ourselves, but I think it's nice that developers put such a high level of detail to those things which we don't really see from the flight deck, but that's all super realistic. So very nice. Now let's finally go into the flight deck. And here we are. Well, we are actually good to do all the flows to get us going. First of all, let's make sure all the doors are closed, and then also we can get rid of the jetway. Like that, and then we can arm all the doors like that, and ground connections. APU is running. So let's remove everything, and all the doors are closed. Perfect. Checklist, we of course have those, and we need to do them. So flight deck door is closed. Passenger signs are not on yet, but now MCP is set, more or less at least. I've entered the data. That's V2 initial heading. Initial climb will be 5,000, and I think today we're actually going to depart in VNAV and heading select. And then we can sort of determine on our own when we want to do this left-hand turn. So that's done. Takeoff speeds 138, 140, 144. CDU preflight is completed. Trim is 300 units. And taxi and takeoff briefing. Well, takeoff is super straightforward. Taxi, we will have a look at this once we get going actually, and then beacons go on like this before start checklist completed. And now we can ask for a pushback. And no de-icing, please.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push.
Right, VORs, we can put those two on. And yeah, regarding the taxi, we'll of course get a pushback with the tail to the right. We are, by the way, at gate Kilo 9 today, which is the American Airlines gates. Early on there was also some traffic around, but now it's looking rather empty. Okay, and then also the fuel pumps.
Locking gear.
And then the hydraulics, I think it's this way, then the right one first. Wait until the light is extinguished. Like this, and then we can put the others to auto as well. Quickly need to do a quick edit. While I was doing it, I was just seeing there's the 737 just going out, so let's wait another second here. But
release parking brakes.
He's holding short. Okay, I think he's actually waiting for us. Okay, so let's get going now.
Release parking brakes.
Like this, and start the block time. And I'm just seeing, I forgot the emergency lights. That's not too good, of course. And engine shutdown, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Righty, okay, so let's fire up the beautiful Rolls-Royce engines. Put this one to start, and fuel control switch. And there we go. Yeah, the engine sounds are superb. I have done 2 quick flights in the 777 since release, and yeah, they're super amazing. Especially the Rolls-Royce engines, actually. Kind of a pity, since now that the 777ER is released, the Pratt & Whitneys are grounded, I think in most parts of the world. That was due to the United 777 at Denver, which had an uncontained engine failure. Quite sure you have heard about this one. And yeah, so now all the Pratt & Whitney engines are on the ground, but luckily there are 2 other engines which we can fly, which is this one, the Rolls-Royce, and also the GE.
Set parking brakes.
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Okay, starter cutout, so we can fire up number 1, and then we can also confirm the good engine start. Right, also, since we have the EFB, why not use the airport map? And here we are. And yeah, actually we are lucky today. Taxi is not too long. To left is over there. And that's considered quite a short taxi for Chicago. And then we will taxi straight, go on Alpha, and then go left on Victor, and then follow Victor around to left. Pretty straightforward, actually. Nothing too crazy. Okay, seems like no, it's still firing up. Sorry, I thought it already was running.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Okay, but now it seems to be stable. So generators are running, so we can kill the APU. And these guys are leaving, so I will go. Actually, yeah, it's to the before taxi. Actually, it's let's start with the flight controls. Like this. So for left.
Left is clear. Right is
full
clear.
right, neutral, full up, full down, and the rudder, full left, and full right, and trim should be up 5.75. So let's do that while we are here. Like that, okay. Right, anti-ice is off, we don't need that. Recall, just TCAS and that's fine. Auto brake goes RTO. Flight controls are done, ground equipment is clear. That's done, so flap 5 and then also the taxi lights like that. And we are good to go. So releasing the parking brake. And let's see, I think we need a little bit of power here. Not too much, certainly. Right, and now we can even see the Chicago skyline back there. That's quite a beautiful view. Okay, before takeoff checklist, flaps are set at 5. Okay, so taking this right-hand turn and then Alpha 18 is the link down to Victor. Yeah, it is a long aircraft, of course, so I need to get used to taxiing it around. I think the really great thing about this release is now that we can basically fly every single 777 that's out there. All of them very accurately modeled now by PMDG. And I'm also very much looking forward to the 300 actually. But I thought we should kick things off with the 200 extend range since it's the new one. And to be honest, I was a little bit surprised by the price tag they put on this one. Just the sort of add-on to the add-on was $77, which is a very stiff pricing, to be honest. But this leads me to the assumption that it's really worth it as well. Okay, now I almost came to stop here. Not sure what this 777 is doing there in front of us. He's a bit on a stop and go there, as it looks like. Now he's coming our way. Okay, sorry about that, guys. That was just getting a bit messy there, so I skipped ahead a few seconds, and now we are cruising down on taxiway Victor. Beautiful. I will put in a little bit of more thrust, and then let's actually have a bit of a scenic outside to enjoy this aircraft a bit. Okay, wow, that was actually as good as it gets. Simply amazing how this aircraft is looking from the outside. Super, super nice. Okay, let's start setting up a few things over here. So traffic, weather, and then traffic, terrain over here, and transponder, TARA, like that. And do we need to take this right-hand turn here? Yeah, we do. Down on Victor, okay. Perfect. So what I've learned is once it gets to the shoulders of the first officer, which is about now, then we will start the turn in the 777. And that seems to work rather nice. Okay, so that's the holding point of 22 left, and that's where I want to go. See if there's any traffic coming in, but it looks to be free just for now. So I can't see anything. Okay, so all the lights on. And yeah, before takeoff checklist has been completed early on, so we are good to rock and roll. Okay, ready when you are, guys. So let's do it. Let's go down to Miami. First flight in the 777-200ER, the extended range in the Rolls-Royce engines. Power is established. Toga. Oh, and listen to those sounds. Simply amazing. Actually, we have quite a bit of a D-rate, so we don't even hear too much of them now, but nevertheless quite beautiful.
V1, rotate.
Rotate.
V2.
And to about 10 degrees, and we are airborne. Gears coming up. I'm even turning a bit speechless here. It's so cool to finally fly this aircraft. Okay, let's put the autopilot on. I'm anyway kind of too excited to do it manually now. And speeding up flap 1, and yeah, let's go direct dent. Okay, flap up. That's so cool. I mean, it's especially cool since we really waited so long for this aircraft. Let's do a quick entry here, so we go the direct way. I don't even know when was the first time this aircraft has been announced to the community, but it feels like it's been years ago. And now we finally have it in the sim. It's so cool. Oh, look at Chicago down there. It's a very winterly Chicago we are seeing here. And then down in Miami, we hopefully have a bit more of a summer feeling. But I'm quite sure we will have that. Okay, coming up to 5,000, I think we can keep it climbing. Cruise is 390 if I'm remembering correctly. Yes, it is. Right. A bunch of aircrafts coming in to land there. Okay, then the taxi and turn off lights can come off. Okay, and yeah, well, it's a super simple departure out of Chicago here, so I will go straight into music and fuel mode and enjoy this one very much, and see you back down in Miami. So, welcome back to the flight deck, guys. That was quite a bumpy ride down here to Florida. A bit of a jet stream going on there above the US, which we had to cross from north to south, of course. But yeah, now the flight time is 2 hours and 9 minutes, and we are descending into Miami just as planned. Yeah, we are back a bit early. Flight time is still quite a bit remaining, but yeah, nevertheless, I wanted to get back early to you and discuss the approach. We are going to do an ILS arrival runway 08 right, and I'm very happy about this fact, since flying the 777 on the channel the first time, doing an ILS comes in very handy, I have to say. Everything else would be a bit of a struggle, to be honest. And also now we are just seeing that the aircraft is speeding a bit, going from VNAV path back to VNAV speed, and that's always a sign in the 777 that we need some speed brakes. And yeah, I've recently learned that this is in fact very typical for the 777 to speed up during the descent more than it should. Yeah, but we can hopefully fix that. And okay, now we are heading into the 13,000, and right now let's check the charts. I will now set it to 10,000. I will explain to you why in a second. Yeah, we are flying the Haley 7 arrival, and that's a huge arrival. We've entered all the way up at Ormond Beach, and now we are just passing Bitoga. Okay, now it doesn't want the speed brake anymore. That's fine with me. So let's get rid of them, although that's a bit difficult here. There we are. Yeah, Bitoga, where it says landing east, expect 280 knots and 13,000, and that's what we have, yeah, more or less had at this point. We were speeding a bit. Sorry about that, but in terms of altitude, we are doing quite fine. And then, yeah, you can see it basically takes us parallel to the airport all the way out to Ruboy, and then we'll do a left-hand turn by 180 degrees and be back on the ILS runway 08 right, although we might not go all the way out to Ruboy. That's a bit far actually, so I will try to turn in a bit earlier than that, also depending on the traffic we see around us. And right, so this is now completely off, and I get why is it doing this, because yeah, Ruby is really far off and it expects us to fly all the way, which we are certainly not doing. Now I'm thinking of, let's try flight level change down to 10,000, and yeah, I think the flight level change is gonna be our friend from now on for the different sectors. Just have to check the altitude. So Highly is 10,000, the next sector altitude down to Keynes is 8,000 according to the charts. So that's where we can descend to, but then of course we need to slow down before we hit the 10,000, of course. So a bit of an interesting arrival, but that's very good since it's helping us to learn to fly the 777, of course. And yeah, weather down Miami, very beautiful, only very light winds. They've been switching around with the runways a bit. I hope it stays on the 08s for now. So let's see, wind is 4 knots from 050, good visibility, scattered clouds 3,200 and 4,000, 27 degrees, really warm. Altimeters are already set to local 3019er. And yeah, beautiful weather as always down in Miami. And now, I kind of missed it, sorry about that. Should have started to slow down a bit earlier than that, but now the aircraft is prioritizing the speed, and that's good, so we don't descend too far below 10,000. At the same time, we can put on the landing lights, of course. Right. Okay, so it's going to be 8,000 until Keynes, and then we can basically start our descent towards 3,000. And yeah, basically once we are getting to 3,000, and then at any time we can start our turn into Cobra and be on the final approach. Hope it works out as planned. Right, and there's a bit of the skyline coming into view. And yes, actually on the outside view, I just noticed it, we are seeing Fort Lauderdale down there, which, yeah, we just recently had on the channel. The LatinVFR Fort Lauderdale scenery, also quite a nice one. And that's of course also the reason why frames are coming down a bit here. It's always in this region, there are a lot of buildings, a lot of airports as well, all of them very close together. So we might expect one or the other leg spike during the arrival, but for now it's actually quite okay. Okay, now we briefly have to level it out at Keynes, and then after this one I will dial it down to 3,000. Okay, so next waypoint is Simba, and now down we go. Beautiful Miami Beach here down on the left hand side, and that's the airport down there already loading in. Always beautiful arrivals here into Miami and Fort Lauderdale. Okay, so we are now on the downwind leg parallel to the airport, and in fact, let's descend a bit slower for a couple of reasons. First of all, we can see that the green arc, we have plenty of space to get to 3000, and also down below us there are some other aircraft, and they are probably heading in to land on runway 12, judging from the lineup. And now there's, well, first of all, it's really bumpy just now, and there's quite a bit of traffic around, so let's see how we're gonna handle this. Maybe I will just go out a bit further, wait until the traffic is cleared around us, and then swing around. I think that's probably the best thing to do. Yeah, that's quite bumpy now, but also I can't really leave the altitude right now. I think we just have to handle it as it is. And let's see, so this guy down there, he's probably landing on 09, the parallel one, and he very much looks like coming in on 08 left or right, whatever it is. Quite interesting, the traffic patterns here at Miami. Okay, so we have already made it down to 3000, and then at one point we will just go direct the next waypoint, which is Copra, and there we are hard dialed 170 and 3000. So then at some point the aircraft's also going to slow down. It's kind of hard to judge how far these, or look at this. Boy oh boy, that's a bit of a rush hour here at Miami, and traffic is only set to around 50%. Okay. Okay, but I think we are good now. If we turn now, then there will be more than 10 miles between us and those guys. So let's do it. LNAV. Perfect, and then VNAV, and then at some point over here at the green dot, the aircraft will start to slow down. Alrighty. Okay, so we are through the turn, and now the aircraft is starting to slow down, and we have a nice long stretch, 15 miles on the final. I think we can already arm the approach mode, and yeah, localizers captured straight away. That's what I expected. Okay, flaps 1. And let's arm the speed brakes. And yeah, Miami's skyline is coming back into view, and the airport already straight ahead. Beautiful stuff. Flaps 5. And then we will be at a very comfortable flap 15 setting once we hit the glide slope, and it's just perfect. Flap 15. Okay, go around altitude will stay at 3000, so we can leave it as it is. And that's the glide slope. Cool, 11 miles to go. So now we are 8 miles out. Final approach speed will be 130 plus 5, makes it 135. And let's dial down at approximately 7.5. I think we can do it now. 135, and then we drop the gear. Let's see if we can see any traffic down there. There's one guy departing, but other than that it looks rather nice and empty for now. Okay, and let's keep the flaps coming and basically put all of them down like that. Flaps 30, then those lights come on. Alrighty. So 5 miles to go. I will, well, first of all, let's check the landing checklist. Flaps are coming, should be completed any second. There it is. And so I will take the aircraft.
1,000.
And now let's hope for a good one. As I've mentioned earlier, I just did very few test flights with the 777 before starting this video, so please excuse if the landing is not going to be the very best one. Actually, it would surprise me if it turns out to be a good one, since of course every aircraft handles a bit differently, but there will be plenty of chances to get better at it. Ooh, there's some aircraft crossing the runway, but
100.
okay, it disappeared again.
500. Minimum.
Continue. 3 reds, 1 white. We're a little bit low, but I think we're doing all right. No wind at all, that's of course helping. Yeah, Glide Slope and Papis are sort of disagreeing. That's a bit annoying.
100. $50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
And touchdown. Reverse. Oh, that wasn't too bad, was it? I was prepared for a much harder touchdown than this one. Oh, that was quite alright. Okay, idle forward. Manual braking, cool. And there's a high-speed exit just here. Let's take this one. That would be quite perfect. Cool. Welcome to Miami, guys. First landing in the 777-200 extended range. Wasn't all too bad. Ooh, okay, where? Sorry, I'm not in idle. Okay, no, I am. My bad. Okay, a bit of a quick cleanup. It's going to be very, very short taxi. Gates are just straight ahead. Let's quickly fire up the APU. And strobes come off. And probably the spoilers are down. Okay. And then let's talk to GSX. So any delta gate will do. No, not delta 8, something higher. 14, that's an option. 21, even better. 23, also quite nice. Oh, let's go 26. American Airlines, and it should be just down there. Cool. Oops. We need a bit of power here. Okay, flight directors and transponder. What else? Traffic and weather radar. Same over here. And auto brakes 2 off. Just remember that I should stop the flight time, of course, 2 hours and 34. Okay, right hand turn over here. It's not the gate quite yet, but from here on it's pretty much straight in. I hope we have enough wingtip clearance to this 767 next to us. Let's put off the taxi lights and turn off as well. This camera is really useful when taxiing the 777. And I think we're gonna hit this 767, but I can't change that right now. Sorry about that. I think 25 feet, 20. Oh no, come on. Sorry. And there we are. Okay, parking brake. APU should be running. Yes, it is. So we can kill the engines. Block time 2 hours and 50 minutes. And then the seat belts, the beacons, of course. Right. And let's ask for deboarding. Jetway is working. Sweet. And set the wheel chocks, request ground power. And yeah, let's wait for the power before we do the checklist. And now it's of course asking for some doors. Let's do this over here. So disarm all. And then forward cargo, after cargo, bulk cargo, like that. And which entry are we having? That looks like the number 2 entry. So number 2 as well. And ground power and air conditioning unit as well, since it is quite warm outside. And so primary power, secondary power, and then we will can kill the APU and also put off the PEX and the circulation fans, since we have external air conditioning. And then the shutdown checklist, hydraulic panel. Okay, trying to remember again. I think those, and the electrics, and then the right one. I hope that's correct. Fuel pumps, of course. Like that. And parking brake is set, and that's fine. Shutdown checklist completed. Okay, I'm just seeing, I think we might have been lucky here. That's a matter of, that's not even a meter, I would guess. Less than a couple of feet. So, quite nice. Alright guys, and on this last beautiful view on the 777, thank you very, very much for joining me on this first flight in the newly released 777-200 extended range. As I've mentioned before, in the next couple of weeks there's certainly a line of 777 flights coming up. Also very much looking forward to fly the larger on the 300 extended range as well. And maybe also some cargo flights with the 200 long range. We will see about that. Anyways, thank you very much for joining, and hope to see you next time. Bye bye.